All right, so we're going to be talking about multiplication with integers today. Now, you've already done multiplication with integers in the past. They've just been all positive. So, for instance, in the past, you have multiplied 2 times 3 to get 6. Okay, and so all those would be credits because these are positive numbers. Positive numbers goes into the credits. So you would have been putting up 6 of these green with the pluses on them for that. Positive 2 times positive 3. Okay. And 2 and 3 are positive numbers that are also integers. So you've been doing integer multiplication all along. Just this year, we're going to add, what if we have negatives involved? Okay, so what does that look like? Well, it's just similar, just on the debit side. So let's say that you're going to you're going to borrow money from your parents because you wanted to buy something. So you wanted to borrow money for them. And you were going to borrow $2. So this right here is $2. But you're going to borrow $2 from them on 3 separate occasions. So this is the first occasion, this is the second occasion, and this is the third occasion. Okay, now since we're borrowing money, instead of having positive 2's here, we really should have negative 2's. So what that looks like is you borrow $2, then you accrue or take on more debt. When you take on more debt, you're adding more debt to what you already have. So you're adding debt. So you're adding $2 in debt, and then you borrow $2 more so that you get even more into debt. So you're adding all of this debt together. Now, negative 2 plus negative 2 is negative 4. Negative 4 plus negative 2 is negative 6. So you have borrowed $6 from your parents. This negative means that you have borrowed or that you owe them money, okay? You're in debt, $6. So if you add 6 green pluses over here, that means that you did $6 worth of chores and you earned that. But here you're just borrowing money. So that's why there is that negative, okay? So look at this. Basically, if we multiply 2 times 3, we get 6. And here, what we're doing is we're multiplying negative $2, which is owing $2, 3 separate times. So we should come out to negative $6 owed, okay? Now the reason why this and this are the exact same at the end is because multiplication is a repetitive version of addition. Let me say that again. Multiplication, like this, is in effect a quick way of doing repetitive addition. Okay, let's just have that sink in a little bit. For instance, just in general, multiplication is a repetitive form of addition. Let's say you go to the grocery store, okay? And let's say that you want to buy a bottle of water. Let's say that bottle of water costs $2, okay? So what the cashier could do is, and let's say you wanted to buy a lot of those, a lot, like maybe 3 bottles, okay? So this is what the cashier could do. The cashier could check you out. When they're checking you out, they could scan the first bottle, $2. Then they could scan the second bottle, another $2. And then they could scan the third bottle, another $2. So you would owe the grocery store $6, okay? So there's a quicker way to do that. That's equivalent of addition. What if you did this? What if the cashier took 1 bottle and scanned it just once, and then in their cash register, they said times 3. So that is a much quicker way. And you're like, well, you wouldn't save that much time. All right, what if you got 50 bottles of water? What if you got 50 bottles of water, each at $2? Instead of the cashier having to go and scan 50 bottles, meaning that's a very additive process, what the cashier could do is scan just one of them, go to the cash register and say times 50. Boom, you would come up with $100 of bottled water, which you could have gotten to with addition just a lot more slowly. 2, doo-doo, 4, doo-doo, 6, doo-doo, 8, doo-doo. I'm making the that scanning like beep noise. Okay, can you imagine how angry the people behind you in line would be? That's why multiplication saves time and saves people's sanity sometimes, okay? So that's the power of multiplication. All we're doing is multiplication with debt now, okay? So instead of having to add up all of that debt, like you owe those $2 for each bottle of water, instead we can just multiply it by how many bottles of water or how many times you borrow from your parents. And that gives you a negative number because you're going to be in debt a certain amount when the dust settles. Okay, so just wanted to go over how to multiply with basically a positive integer, which is like the number of times something happens, and then the negative integer, which is you could think of as how much debt you're going into every single one of those times. All right, so I'll give you some chances to also practice with that.